This feels weird. I've pressed play. This is the start of, I guess, my YouTube era. I've had this feeling for quite a while now that I should go unfiltered. That sounds so dramatic, like I'm about to drop the world's biggest secret. But I don't know, I just think there's something about YouTube that I love, and I want to see if my voice sort of resonates in this space. So just to give you a lowdown, I didn't mean or want to come on here in this attire to begin with introducing you to me. I'm probably going to put some makeup on and that will be the start of the thing. But for now, I felt compelled to talk. So, I'm Aimee. I am 31 years old. I'm an Aries and I am in London. I've been a London girl since I was born. I've never lived anywhere else, even though I'm dying to live somewhere else. But in the last 3 years, I built a business, which means that that dream can't happen just yet. And that's okay, because I'm only 31. I feel like there's a lot of space, a lot of time ahead of me. And we have just welcomed in 2026, which is super exciting. I'm going to take this off. Whew. Rat. And I had a very wholesome New Year's. I spent it with my best friends that I met at 16 years old in Cambridge in like a gorgeous Airbnb. Where's my brush? And we just were so relaxed. I had that stupid cold that was going around that I was so, proud of myself for not catching over Christmas. But what happened when I got home after Christmas? I started feeling spicy. And then I had to ignore it all New Year's because I wasn't going to give up on that plan. And I'm glad I didn't, because it was the best New Year's I've ever had. There's 10 of us as pals. We've gone through a lot together. We studied musical theatre together at a place called Erdang. And we graduated in 2013, which is crazy. How far? Wait, 12 years. Wow. So yeah, it's coming up to 16 years that I know these people. And we have babies in the group. We have husbands in the group. Side note, that 9 out of the 10 of us are interested in boys. We have one that is with a gorgeous gal called, actually no, I won't say her name, but we met her on New Year's Eve and she was just perfect. She slayed at beer pong. Oh, put that out my face. That is a funny clip. Anyway, so I'm going to start some vlogging because I've always wanted to, first of all. I feel like I am a big sister and I give big sister energy. I have gone through some things in my 20s, grief underlined, where I'll just go over it at the moment, but I lost my best friend and my partner in the space of like 5-6 years. And other than that, life has been always cup half full. I'm a positive person. I see the romantic in everything. I'm a big romantic. I started a business out of romanticizing business, which I shouldn't have done because it's not very romantic. Started my business with my sister, Lils, who I'll obviously talk about quite a lot on here. And we kind of accidentally fell into it. So we call ourselves the accidental entrepreneurs because we started in May 23 with this want to create this self-love revolution out of quite bad places ourselves. So me and Lils had quite a tumultuous 22 and 23, and it led us to find, well, my sister on TikTok was scrolling through and found this incredible, like massive in South Korea, this concept that came over. It was called Cheese, and they're still around. They're slaying in Leicester Square right now, and I think they've opened another one in Tottenham Court Road or vice versa. And we went to experience a self-portrait studio just as sisters. So at that time I was in a show and Lily was filmmaking and auditioning because we're both actresses as well. and she's a director and a writer. It's a big slay. She's only 25. And we went to the self-portrait studio because Lily was like, listen, Ames, like, we're feeling a bit down. Let's go and have some fun together. And this looks like a really fun concept. Like, you take your own photos. And I was like, oh, cool. Don't want to be in front of a camera, but I'll come with you and support you. So that's what we did. And I think I've told the story a million times already, and I will continue to because it is the origin story. But I sat and I clicked that button and I looked at the screen and I just saw someone that I was so proud of. And I wanted other people to feel that way because I was in a slump. So the fact that I wanted to celebrate myself after that was a really big achievement that experience had made me feel. And then after that, I sort of like, I think me and Lil sat for a beer and we were like, that felt great. Where are these self-portrait studios in the Western world? Because they're massive. They've been massive for years in like China, Japan, South Korea, like, and then they have been dotted around the world, but here, not really, except for cheese, which, you know, I was so glad that we came across it, but we just wanted to make it more about the people and their stories. And the weirdest thing is that I was booked to go on a trip. About maybe 2 weeks later, I was leaving to go to South Korea to see my friend Emma, who was studying out there. And it all just fell into place. Lily was like, you're going to South Korea, which is like the home of self-portrait studios. There's like tens of thousands. I'm being dramatic. There's hundreds. You can really market research and try it out. And I was like, wow, this is weird. So then I went on this trip, which started in South Korea, and then I went to Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand with my friend Emma, and it took about a month and a half, 2 months, but we started in South Korea, and I think it kind of like, my plan went, like, it just got so big in my head. And for the rest of the month and a half, me and Emma were yapping about it. Lily was like boots on the ground. I got my best friend to like be me, like older sister vibes, and go along with her to like look at studios and things like that. And then the minute I landed back, there's a whole other story. I landed back in March, late Feb, March, and it was a big come down. And that is the moment where I was like, right, we need to start this. So I'll go into that journey later on. But anyway, that is sort of like me in a nutshell and where I am in my life. I'm still acting. Well, I'm not acting. Those who are actors know how hard it is. There's 2% of actors that consistently work. I have an agent. I have had for 10 years, and auditions are quite slow at the moment, but my focus is to build Candid right now. I can't wait to act again. I'm very excited about it. I have not lost the passion at all. But I think when I started Candid, I was 29, and I was just like in that phase of, I need a bit more consistency, a bit more putting in all the hard work and getting something back, which acting wasn't doing for me at that point. But I went into a more unstable world, I think, startup world. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Get ready. I will have the skill at some point to get ready with me, but at the moment, I can't multitask. I'm like a man. Anyway, speak to you in a minute. Honestly, it's such a crispy day. I honestly haven't been out in the sun for the last 3 days because I've been hunkering down, getting over this cold/flu. But I'm going to take myself for a sweet treat, and then I'm gonna peruse the little charity shop to see if I can find a laptop case because I've misplaced mine. So what to expect from me on YouTube? The first word that comes to me is real, because that's what I'm craving myself. And I feel like I want to be a big sister energy. I want to talk about all the ups and all the downs and how all the things can be true at once. I want to make you feel braver. I want to make you feel less alone. If that's in personal life or in the entrepreneurial journey that I found myself on, or even the acting journey that I'm still on, or even just being in this world in which there's quite a lot against us. But 26, there's some promise, I think. First of all, I noticed that everyone really did switch off for Christmas. And then I've really noticed that people are turning away from digital, short, snappy, sickly content. I'm wanting more to sit down with a coffee and really listen to something that's going to add value to them. So if my YouTube brings you a moment of stillness, if it brings you a moment of recognition or understanding, or just that you feel less lonely. Because I read today on my friend Phoebe's Substack, which I'll link in the notes, that loneliness is just as deadly as cigarettes. And I don't know what the real stat is. I'll put that here so I'm not spreading false information. But if I can make anyone feel less lonely just by talking to camera and being real and being a little bit messy and a bit unhinged and a bit honest through this life where I am single, gone through a lot of loss, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm dating, I've got huge dreams. And I think this year there's going to be a lot of shifts in my life, starting with the fact that my tenancy runs out in March. So that could be quite interesting of a journey to post. Some different eras are happening. Anyway, I'm going to keep this under 10 minutes today, because I should. And I will come back. I'm going to come to you twice a month. That's me on camera saying twice a month. And if it feels better or easier, then I guess I will come on a little bit more. Anyway, what would you like to know? Give me some comments if there are 1 or 2 people listening to this, which I hope so. What direction do you want to see this go in? And what I've said this is going to be, does that interest you? Anyway, off I go to Gales to get myself an oat cappuccino and a sweet treat, and hopefully find a laptop case. I'll see you soon. Okay, I couldn't find a laptop case, but I am with tea. Oh, you can't see it. It won't fall on my laptop, but the vanilla custard blueberry bun, outrageous every single time. So now I'm gonna start editing my first YouTube video. So see you on the flip side.